Hi, I'm Dan Martell, serial entrepreneur, investor, and creator of SaaS Academy. And in this video, I'm going to teach you the 5 steps to managing a distributed team so that you can get even more done, get access to higher caliber talent, and at a reduced cost structure. And be sure to stay to the end where I'm going to share 2 of my favorite books to get even more insights on this topic. So maybe you've tapped out your current hiring pool from the city you live in and there's no new talent there. Or maybe you've kind of built your payroll to a point where it's not sustainable to keep growing, but you want to keep building new stuff. What I want to teach you in this video is how to hire people in other parts of the world so you can get a few benefits. The first benefit is that you obviously can take advantage of the reduced cost structure. The second thing, which I think is just as fascinating and valuable, is the day parting, meaning that you can ask people on your team to do work and projects, kick those off, and when you wake up, they're moved along so you can get a review. That alone will get you on a 24-hour cycle if you do it right and could add tremendous value to your business. And I just want to share the 5 steps to doing this the right way. Step 1 is focus on the results. Instead of wondering what somebody's working on minute to minute or hour by hour, instead what you want to do is get right to the end point. What does the task that you're asking this person to do look like when it's all done? I call that the definition of done. And that's very descriptive, how the customer is going to interact with it, how it visually looks, potentially some imagery that represents kind of what you think it's going to look like when it's done. And this is true for like event organizing, product design, etc. The more you can be descriptive of what it looks like when it's done, then you can step back and just allow the person to then decide how they're going to get it accomplished. And I think that is the big difference when you shift from in-house, where you can kind of sit down and help somebody shape the path to getting a completion of a project done, versus saying, here's what it looks like, and stepping back and allowing them to essentially commit to a timeline and then hold them to that accountability. That works way better in a distributed team than for people typically in an office that can communicate at a higher frequency. Step 2, set daily and weekly meeting rhythms. So one of the challenges when you're in an office is that you're always talking, you're always communicating, you're always kind of looking over people's shoulders, you're walking by, you're having water cooler conversations, you're going out for lunch with people. So the rhythm of information flows really naturally. So it doesn't require kind of structured meetings. But I will tell you, one of the most valuable things you could ever do is not only add a weekly meeting, but also a daily stand-up. And if you're looking for a structure, want to go even deeper on it, check out Scrum. It's a based from a technical background, but the Scrum meeting structure works really well to just build that foundation, build the expectations that every week we're going to realign kind of priorities and focuses for each team in the company or each person, especially in the distributed team. And then on a daily basis, there's a heartbeat of understanding what somebody, especially distributed remote, is going to work on, not only, and this is the format, what they did yesterday, what they're going to do today, and are they blocked? And as a leader, a manager, the entrepreneur, the CEO, the founder, your job is to unblock them so they can move forward. So setting up a daily and weekly rhythm is key. Step number 3, hosting company offsites. If you have a team that's used to working together in the same room, then it's hard to see the value of this. But as you build your distributed team and you have 3, 4, 5, maybe a dozen people that work in different cities, at least once a year, ideally twice, sometimes 3, you want to get those people together. When I was building my company, Flowtown, we used to do this because we always had distributed team. I'd say half the team was remote, distributed. Even people that worked in the same city just decided to work from home because they were more productive. But 3 times a year, we would all jump in rental vans and drive to Tahoe and rent some houses. And we spent most of the morning skiing or snowboarding to really bond, to do an activity. And then afternoons into the night, usually there was some beverages involved. There was a lot of productivity and brainstorming and kind of planning the next 90 days and what was important from a product point of view and what were customers saying about our product. And as management and leaders and CEOs, we get to share kind of our vision for the product. But those offsites are critical to create what's called entanglement around the ideas and the way people work. Even if they've been remote, bring them together to allow that entanglement to happen, to continue adding value after the fact is key in the byproduct of doing those offsites. Step number 4, use collaboration software. As your team grows, you want to create a structure, even if you started off in an office, so that you can collaborate with people. And that could be as simple as using project management software so that everybody has a clear understanding of what their workload looks like, what's coming up next month, so they can start figuring out how can they sharpen the saw around the activities that they're working on or the projects. But it goes even further. I would argue that having software or tools that allow you to do video conferencing, like a Zoom or a Skype, is really powerful. You know, I even do this for my daily stand-ups. When I was building my company, Clarity, we had team members all over the world, and we would do our daily stand-up meetings, our Scrum stand-ups, using video conferencing so that we could, and we just use GoToMeeting, so that we could see everybody's faces. And you just got to find a time zone that works for everybody. But that way, there's a real sense of when somebody's reporting on what they did the day before and today, and what if they're stuck, you get a sense of how they're feeling, and you can see if somebody's gotten a haircut. I mean, it creates that rapport. And I think that software in today's world has enabled us to build our teams in a distributed way that was totally different and way more valuable, and I would argue more effective than it used to be previously to these tools. So be sure to invest in software around collaboration, video, project management, chat are all really important infrastructure pieces to allow you to manage that distributed team. Step number 5, conduct one-on-one meetings. You know, and this could be for your direct reports or your managers to manage with their team. But I think it's super important that at least twice a year you sit down with your direct reports and talk about their performance, talk about their aspirations. What do they want to get out of this role? How do they see their future evolving with the company? Where do they want to grow into? What kind of training do they need? How are they performing? How do you feel about the performance? The truth is people don't quit companies, they quit bosses. And creating a structure and enforcing a policy where people create these one-on-ones, even into your distributed team, doing those remotely through video conference calls is still very important so that they understand how you feel about their work and they have the opportunity to give you feedback in your business. I even have certain people on my team where I meet with them every week one-on-one so that we can gauge our effectiveness, right? And we actually use a simple scoring system, a 1 out of 10 as a leader. How have I been for you for the past 7 days? And in their role, how have they been for me? And we can give each other a quick number so that it starts the conversation of where the opportunity is to grow. So setting up that, making sure that all your leaders in your company have one-on-ones with their team, at least team members, at least twice a year, is critical to managing a distributed team. So just to recap, 1, make sure that you focus on results. 2, ensure that you set up a meeting rhythm. 3, spend the time to go off-site with the team. 4, invest in software so that you have the tools to collaborate and connect. And then finally, one-on-one meetings with your key people. Now, I wanted to share with you 2 books that I think are fundamental in understanding how this could look. The first one is A Year Without Pants by Scott Birkin, who worked at Automatic, the company behind WordPress.com. They have hundreds, if not now at this point, thousands plus employees that work distributed. They do have a central office, but I know that each department comes together once a quarter. They have a travel budget to do that, and they do it all over the world to make sure they create that entanglement concept. And second, Remote Office Not Required by Jason Fried, who really pioneered this concept early in the days, the founders of Basecamp.com. Both books are incredible resources to help you get even more insights into distributed teams. If you like this video, be sure to click the like button, share this with a friend, and subscribe to my channel. As per usual, I want to challenge you to live a bigger life and a bigger business. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. For those who were not aware, all my videos have been one take to date, and now I've got to retool the whole flow, the whole process, and